I'm going to show you how to replace your HVAC blower motor on a Ford E-Series van. This should work on other Ford models and even other brands. If you find this content helpful, hit the subscribe button. So here we have our E350 van, and when the heat or AC is on, we get nothing blowing out of the front. This has two zones, a front and a rear. The front can be on AC or heat, and we get nothing, indicating that the blower motor has failed. And I will show you how I confirm this with a simple hammer. You go up to the blower motor. Here it is. That's that tub in the back. You can see the hammer's touching it. If you just tap on the actual motor part, you'll see right here with the handle, and the blower motor just turned on. So this is a common symptom of a motor that's bad, is that you can hit it with a hammer and then it frees it up and it starts moving. So that's how we verified that we need to replace the blower motor. First thing we need to do is disconnect the battery. So after the battery is disconnected, you need to loosen the hold down for the battery in order to get the battery out and out of the way. Most vehicles do have this hold down system for the battery to keep it into place. Now with that out of the way, I thought I would be able to get the blower motor out. So I started undoing the plug to it. You can see right here, you just pull that tab and it comes right off. Then we can start to do these 8mm bolts that hold the blower motor attached to the car. There's one of the screws. I think there was 4. So you do need a couple of attachments, maybe an angle, socket extension, or maybe a real shallow wrench to get in there. It's kind of awkward. And as you can see, I found out that I couldn't get it out, but we're going to remove this hose that keeps the motor clean by using vacuum to suck dust out. After I removed that, I tried to get it out, but I still couldn't because the battery tray was in the way. So unfortunately, we will have to undo the battery tray. I don't know what size those were, probably 10mm, about 4 or 2 of them. Now the tray is out. One more thing out of the way. Now we have a little bit more access, but I still couldn't get this out due to some of those air conditioning components to the left there. You might be able to get it, but I didn't want to bend anything. So what I did is I loosened this canister by simply removing one of the bolts and loosening the other, allowing it to pivot. And then there was one more screw holding that AC line near the top, but you can see I removed the top one and just loosened that bottom one. Now that thing wiggled out of the way and I could get the blower motor out. So I just kind of wanted to show you what I was talking about. See how I removed those bolts. I actually removed the bottom one just to make it easier. And then you simply remove this little washer that holds that fan blade onto the motor. And it was kind of seized on there, but I just gave it a little hit with the hammer and it came right off, knocked it right out. Here is the new blower motor part number. This is a 2007 E350. It actually might be a 2011. I can't remember. It's either a 7 or 11. And now we can attach the old fan blade to the new fan motor, put that new washer on that came with the blower motor, and it just pushes on there and gets stuck on there with those little creases in it. So that holds the fan blade to the motor. Now we can slip it back in just as it came out. After we apply the gasket, see that foam gasket around the outside? You want to apply that foam gasket around the bolt holes so that it's not in the way and it's nice and sealed up and no dust is getting in that HVAC system. So slip it back in there. Always note the orientation of everything so that it goes back in the same way. So you can see the plug is kind of on the left side if we're looking at the blower motor, so make sure it is that way. Line it up. And then you can put the screws in, tighten it down, put the plug in, then you can start putting everything back together, including the air conditioning system, that those bolts we had to take out to get it out of the way. So you can see I got my angle extension in there. Just tighten it down nice and tight. After you get that bottom one in, get the top one in, and then go to this third bolt I had to do on the top line just to give me some more wiggle room. So everything's pretty much back in. Just get that hose on, that vacuum hose, line it up so that it's sealed up. Put the plug back on to the blower motor. There, everything's all assembled. I would test it now, but we don't have the battery hooked up. So put the battery tray back in. And then we can get the battery in, tighten the tie down, and then put the terminals back on. And then we're good to go. So this did fix the problem. Now we got heat and AC blowing out of the front vents, the front defroster, everywhere that it should be. So the good thing about this kind of problem is you could tap that blower motor every time you got in the truck if you wanted heat. But now we don't got to do that anymore because it works. You just want to cycle through everything, making sure that it goes hot to cold. Verify that the blend door has not been damaged on a 15-year-old vehicle like this. So if you find this content helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.